Virtual Creative Factory in Colorado.
This incredible story about art, technology, and, well, a ghost from the past. It brings together an ancient landscape, a poet silenced decades ago, and a machine that can actually sing.
Our story starts somewhere truly epic, the Garden of the Gods in Colorado. We're talking about these towering red rock formations that have been standing there for 300 million years. Just imagine the history that place has seen.
And then there's our poet, Federico García Lorca, a giant of Spanish literature, whose voice was tragically cut short when he was assassinated back in 1936.
And the last piece of this puzzle? A really powerful AI that can create music just from text prompts. And this is what raises the big, profound question we're looking at today. Can a machine actually give a new voice to a poet who's been gone for almost a century? Okay, so to really get this, we first need to understand the man at the heart of the story, Federico García Lorca. Lorca was an absolute master of the copla. Now, if you're not familiar with it, think of the copla as the very DNA of Spanish folk songs. They're these short, punchy, direct poems that really capture the soul of the folk. You know, the poet Manuel Machado said it best. He basically said, a copla isn't really a copla until it's sung by the people, until it becomes part of the culture. At that point, it doesn't even matter who wrote it anymore.
And you absolutely cannot talk about this kind of art without talking about duende. It's this word that doesn't really translate. It's a deep, almost mystical feeling, a connection to the soul of the art. It comes from being intensely aware of life and death. It's that raw human thing that gives you chills.
Lorca's own life was full of this duende. I mean, he became incredibly famous for his gypsy ballads, but he actually felt kind of trapped by that label. So he threw himself into bringing theater to the people in rural Spain before his life was tragically cut short when he was only 38. So, that's the poet. Now let's jump to the present day and look at the tool that's bringing his words back to life, an AI music generator called Suno. Suno is one of these new AI tools that's really shaking things up. The whole idea is to make music creation accessible to literally anyone. You don't need to know how to play an instrument or read music. You just need an idea.
And it's pretty flexible. You can go the easy route, just type in something like a high-energy rock anthem, and boom, you get a song. Or, if you want to be more hands-on, you can use the custom mode. Feed it your own lyrics, pick a genre, and get really specific.
This custom process is where the real magic happens, right? You can lay out the whole song structure with tags like verse and chorus, describe the exact vibe you're going for, and the AI just becomes your personal studio band. It's wild. But of course, this kind of power brings us right back to a very old, very deep question. If a machine makes it, is it really art? And that brings us to the heart of the matter. Can an algorithm, a complex system of code and data, ever actually have duende? Can it capture that human soul? So on one side, you have people who say absolutely not. Cognitive psychologist Keith Holyoke puts it this way. True art needs inner experience. It needs consciousness. And AI doesn't have feelings, so how can it create something that makes us feel?
From this perspective, AI art is just, well, pseudo-art. It's a clever copy, a soulless imitation that might look and sound right, but it's missing that essential human spark.
But then there's the other side of the coin. This argument says we're looking at it all wrong. AI is just a tool, like a synthesizer or a camera. The art isn't in the tool itself, it's in how a person uses that tool to express their own vision.
Okay, so let's see what happens when these two worlds collide, when Lorca's ghost meets the machine in the middle of Colorado.
A recent project did something I can only describe as a digital seance. They took Lorca's classic poems, used the Garden of the Gods as the inspiration, and fed it all into Suno to create this wild, flamenco-electronic soundscape.
And the music that came out is fascinating. You hear traditional flamenco guitar and hand claps, but they're woven together with these atmospheric, electronic sounds that feel like the wind whistling through those ancient rocks. It's like a conversation between two different worlds. And this gets right to what the project's creator was hoping for. He saw the AI not as a replacement for an artist, but as a bridge, a way to connect the past with the present and to help these classic art forms find a new life.
So what does a wild experiment like this tell us about where creativity is headed? What's the next verse in this story?
This whole thing, a dead poet's words, an AI's voice, and a living artist's vision, it's way more than just a neat trick. It's a sneak peek into a future where the lines are blurring, not just changing how we make art, but what we even consider art to be. Which leaves us with one final, massive question to chew on. As these tools get more and more powerful and easier for anyone to use, what does it even mean to be an artist anymore? When anyone can create a symphony with just a sentence, who gets to be the artist?
Sus sombras bailan lento, lento en la tierra roja del olvido, donde el eco no ha nacido. El cielo se rompe, susurra el ayer, el fuego de la luna vuelve a arder. Lorca en el jardín de los dioses, donde el silencio guarda voces, raíces que tiemblan, ramas que lloran. La eternidad nunca se demora. Las estrellas dibujan su nombre, en cada pétalo duerme un hombre. Sus palabras, faroles en la bruma, la noche de su eterna espuma. ¿Quién guarda